Reading is to the mind what exercise is to the body, and that is by Joseph Addison. Although I've seen it by other people too, but that's the one I've seen the most on Google. Anyhow, so why are we talking about reading when we're talking about finance? Reading is an art form that we learn when we're very young. James Quick, if you have read his book Limitless and taken courses and things, he's a reading expert. And he talks about how we learn how to read when we're very young. And, we start learning from the age of 2. I remember I was reading books that my dad had given me around 2 or 3 years old. And half the time it was memorized what I was saying, but the other half was, taking in the words and realizing that the was the. And when I started reading, we were taught how to read, but we never really practice it after that. Once you learn the alphabet, once you learn what words are, how to sound things out, that's pretty much it. We don't really practice anymore. We don't expand, we don't grow when it comes to our reading. And that's what James Quick says, is that we're all kind of stuck where we are in our reading. Some people identify themselves as good readers, others identify themselves as bad readers because of being taught something when we were 5 years old and never really changing it or really practicing how to grow and expand off of that. We just kind of keep doing what we were doing at 5 years old. Now, you might think, well, what does this have to do with finance? Finance is the same thing. We have we don't really get any education in school anymore. I think in the olden days, they used to teach you how to maybe balance your checkbook, and that was about it. But nowadays, kids don't even know how to write a check. I had a client call me once who's younger and said, I'm really embarrassed, but you said to send in a check, and I have no idea how to fill this out. Can you help me with that? And there's nothing to be embarrassed about because he wasn't taught how to do that. And so when we look at finances, we really didn't get any education on finances. We observed what was going on in our family. We observed what's been going around us in general. And we kind of hear bits and pieces of what's a good financial thing to do and a bad financial thing to do. And when we take that information, we just kind of apply it. And we don't even know if that's the right application for what our plan is. So really, finance is like reading. You have to make it work. You have to practice it. You have to grow. You have to learn. You have to put a lot into it. It's like, gardening. I am not a gardener. I do not have a green thumb at all. But I would imagine it's like gardening. You plant the seed, and just to plant it and expect it to grow isn't realistic. You have to nurture it. You have to water it. You have to take care of it. You have to make sure it's getting enough sunlight. There's a lot of different aspects that go into growing something. And you're growing your finances because you're growing your financial journey to go where you want it to go. And so why wouldn't you have to put that practice, that growth, that time in that you do like you should have to do with your reading? If you're trying to become a better reader, which I've tried to do, and I've succeeded in going a lot faster in my reading, which makes reading much more enjoyable. It is a practice, though, and it is taking techniques and learning what techniques work for me and what don't, and what I need to work on and how to go over challenges so I can become a better reader. We need to put that in practice when it comes to our finances too. How can you be better in your financial journey? And how do we keep growing on that? So we here at One Vision Retirement have what's called a Get to Know You call. We are happy to set up that call with you, get to know you, and see if we can help you grow your financial journey. One Vision Retirement, your retirement in 2020 vision.